Well, here we go with the last of the retirement 4-part series. I hope that you went through the other 3 steps. I hope it was beneficial. You know, whether you're making your checklist for what you expect in a retirement community, doing your research and actually visiting properties, location, and communities, developing your budget. So those were the 3 videos that correlate to number 4. And so here's just the final tips of finishing up that process is understanding the differences that you may be looking at. Some communities have their own sales agents and they don't allow realtors to intercede in their building and selling of their model homes. Other locations you look at, realtors may have already been developed, and realtors are the way to go. Like in the villages, you have both. You have previously owned properties that go through a real estate listing, or the villages, or there's villages agents. So as you narrow this down and come to those final decisions of selecting a property, you know your budget and what you're looking for, use all the resources that you can. Facebook, go on Facebook and join a group for that community. You'll find out the concerns of the community, or if there are problems with the community, I think is a very important thing. And do it through social media, looking for things. Now keep in mind, people like to complain, so kind of grade them. Sometimes places aren't as bad as they sound or as good as they sound. The other thing is to get a handle on everything that you get. If you're buying into a community that's building the homes, what kind of warranty you're going to get, what kind of guarantees you have, what's the past history of the builder or development community. Do a little bit of the questions and answers of when you talk to either the agent for the community. Get a real handle of whether they're doing things to protect from flooding or other things that you might not necessarily look at when you're looking at what kind of entertainment they have there and what the house looks like. You may want to get into some of these other questions. Also things like the structure of the home. I know you've got your budget, but you want to know if you're getting block, whether you're getting tilt-up construction, wood frame, those kind of things. Also, just what the area encompasses of any other issues. Is it prone to needing more pest control than usual, or how much does the community do? In some communities, they spray for mosquitoes. Some communities do not. These are all the little things that you should ask as you're going into this. I know I've gotten some questions on like the village's agents, you know, what did that cost me and all that. Actually, it didn't cost me. They treat it just like a realtor, except I'm not involved in any commissions. So there really wasn't anything extra there except their knowledge, but you recognize they represent the villages. Do a little bit of your own homework. Make sure that what you're getting into is what you planned on. The other area to cover is a little bit about, now that you've narrowed it down, what's the procedures? Now, I did a whole video on how to purchase in the villages because it's unique. But I could have done one on Margaritaville, how the lottery system works and how you get in the list and then what to expect as you move along. This is the time to ask those questions of how does this process work? Like in the villages, if you're going to buy a new home, they want to do a 30-day contract. If you want to delay it, there's fees attached to that. There's additional costs for each day. Understand all that, because if you treat it like a traditional that you're going to write into the agreement that you want time to sell your home or other things, that may cost you a lot more than you think, or it may not be as possible, and you have to figure out, how do I make the transition? Some make the transition by purchasing a house but renting it out in order to cover the cost, and they can do that financially. Some others sell their home, move to the community, then look around and purchase because they want to pick exactly what they want, but they couldn't do that at the stage you're at because there's not enough time. You should ask questions. I know I get a lot of questions on bonds and the initial bond and how that works. Just before you buy, you should really understand those things. Now, I praised some other YouTubers in my previous videos. I did a lot in both my research and definitely David Monty. His budget calculator was the best. If you're going to the villages, the newcomers, the Jerry and Linda YouTube channel, then helped us out a lot. At that stage, we started to get a little bit of the lay of the land of what villages look like. Answering questions answered many of our questions that we needed answered. The final thing that I think you should know too, and I think we got this through the Jerry and Linda question and answers, you may have some questions about utilities, how they work, what components of your home. All of those are just as important as the type of home. So drill down and really understand. So I hope you've enjoyed my videos, and I appreciate those that have made it through the longer videos. But I think the series was really appropriate, at least in part. It's what I went through. Hopefully, sharing that, you benefited from it. Again, if you have any questions, do the comments below. This is just this one series ending. I want to do a lot more on the activities and lifestyle things of specifically the villages, since that's where I chose. Thanks for watching. Look forward to putting out some more videos, especially targeted to the villages. And if you have any ideas, put them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.